So welcome Year 11s. My name is Mrs. Holmes, and along with Miss Mayer, I'm responsible here for careers. Now, as I hope you are aware, this term, the autumn term, is a really important one in terms of making those decisions about what you want to do after you've finished your GCSEs. So we often refer to these as your post-16 options, and this is the term that you will be applying to either college, sixth form, or for an apprenticeship. So I really want to just use this session to just recap what some of those choices are and the steps you need to be taking, importantly, this term to progress. So when we talk about our post-16 options, I think it's really important to always start with the what, to really consider it, what it is you want to be doing for the next 2 years that hopefully is progressing you on towards future kind of education or indeed starting your career. So start with the what first, and once you've got a really strong sense of what it is you want to be doing, then you can really look at the where you want to do that and find the best environment for you. So let's just start by looking at what some of those choices are, what you could do after GCSEs. So hopefully when we talk about passing your GCSEs, we're looking at you achieving 5 grade 4 and above, including English and maths. And that really means that you progress from GCSEs, which are a level 2 qualification, to a level 3 qualification. And level 3 qualifications are, for example, A levels or BTEC level 3 courses. And indeed, there is a level 3 apprenticeship as well. So A-levels, very similar to the style of GCSEs that you've been learning, are subject-based qualifications. So at A-level, you can obviously study subjects like French, geography, or indeed start some new subjects that you might not have previously done, like psychology, sociology, government and politics. BTECs, now these are slightly different. They are the same value as A-levels in terms of being a level 3 qualification, and are therefore as useful in terms of progressing to higher education or with employers. But these now are qualifications that are looking more towards industry sectors. So you start looking at qualifications, for example, in subjects like engineering, performing arts, applied sciences. So they are already qualifications relating to potential areas of career interest for you. And thirdly, we have apprenticeships. Apprenticeships are really getting a job with an employer. And as part of that formal package of employment, you will attend college or university, if we're looking at some of those higher in degree apprenticeships, as part of your employment package. And that usually requires you going to college 1 day a week. And through that process, you will get a job-related qualification. So 3 different choices that you have there after you have finished your GCSEs. So really worthwhile thinking about the learning style, the subjects that you're interested in, and where those different qualifications can progress you to. Once you've got a clear sense of that, then you can look at where best to study. Now, starting with school sixth form, these usually offer A-level courses because it's a very similar style of learning from that you will have known at GCSE. Obviously set within a familiar school environment, it's a smaller number of students, and you will be expected to attend school every day for school hours, normally 8:30 through till 3. Obviously the environment there is familiar to you, and often you'll know the staff as well. In comparison, further education colleges, these are focused purely on providing education for young adults, and indeed some offer that for mature students as well. So they are much bigger environments. There can be a lot of student enrolled per year and indeed on each course. You're often only required to be in college for the hours that you actually have lessons and lectures. So usually that will look like 2-3 days a week in college. Obviously, you'll be expected to complete independent study around those formal teaching hours, which can obviously be done in college as well as at home. There are a number of specialist colleges, places like the Brits, which specialise in performing arts, or the fantastic Capel Manor, which offers courses in animal management and horticulture. These specialist colleges are worth seeking out if you have already a particular sense of where you would like to go in terms of the longer term career ideas. So some specialist colleges that are worth seeking out. Right, so this term, some really important activities. How are you going to work out what it is you want to do and what's the best environment for you to do that in? Just on terms of apprenticeships, we will be offering you a talk later in the year to give you a sense about what apprenticeships are about more fully, particularly as both as a post-16 option, but more particularly also once perhaps you have completed your level 3 qualifications, so that's post-18, some fantastic apprenticeship opportunities offered at a higher or degree level, so worth you knowing about. If there is something that you might think you might be interested in now, then please let your tutors know, and we can ensure that we'll provide you with some additional support. Just to say, it's not an either or. Apprenticeships are competitive and have all the challenges of finding a job. So we would recommend, even if you are interested in this, you consider having a kind of plan B, whether that's going to college or studying A-levels at sixth form. So how are you going to find out more about what it is you want to do? So certainly I would say start by doing some research, looking at various, whether that's school sixth form web pages or the college web pages, and really look at the courses that are available to you and kind of deep dive into the content. Make sure you've really read what the course will entail and that you feel confident that that's something that's going to interest you for the next 2 years. This is particularly important around subjects like history, for example, or English. Really look at what topics you might be studying for 2 years in history. Are those subjects that interest you in terms of English? The books that you'll be studying or the texts, are they something that will really engage you? I would really recommend to talk to your teachers. They know you well. They'll understand your strengths, your interests, and they can often guide you into terms of potential areas of interest and courses that you could explore. Really importantly, when you do this research, look at the course criteria. And I'll come on to this in a moment, just what I mean by that, but what it is that you need to have in order to access those courses. Now, lots and lots of activities this term with open events. Now, this is a chance for you to actually go to a sixth form or to a college or indeed an apprenticeship open day and to find out more about the courses and to kind of see facilities, talk to teachers and meet other students. And it's a really important part of this process to really ensure that you have can make an informed choice. And so that really means going along. Now, most schools and colleges, I'm delighted to say, are now opening in-person events. So where those are available, I encourage you to take those up. However, there are still opportunities to do things virtually. And we really would recommend you attend at least 2 open events, even if you're very clear that, for example, you want to stay on at Waldegrave. Just gives you a chance to compare and contrast and make sure that that is going to be the right choice for you. And as we've talked about, apprenticeships is something that we'll come on to. Right, entry criteria. This is really important to understand, which is while you pass your GCSEs, and a pass is considered 5 GCSEs at 4 and above, to access level 3 courses, there are slightly different grade requirements. To access A levels, you normally need to have a minimum of 5 GCSEs at 5 and above. And most particularly, if you're looking for the subjects you're looking to study at A level, of which you have a choice of 3 A levels, you need to be achieving at least a grade 6 in those subjects. There are slight exceptions to that, often for maths. So you will be required to get a 7 and above, or if you want to do further maths, 8 and above. For new subjects that are being introduced to the curriculum, which you might not have done before. There's normally the minimum requirement of English and maths at grade 5. Now that's really important because there will be some of you who fall just between not quite achieving those grades, but they are necessary to access these courses, and whether it's staying on at Waldegrave or applying to another sixth form, all sixth forms have the same entry requirements. So it's really important that you feel confident that you're going to be achieving those grades. If you are slightly on that borderline, I would really, really recommend that you consider having a plan B in place, and that most likely is going to be your BTEC level 3. So again, BTEC's level 3, same academic value as A levels in terms of progressing forward to university or employers, but they have a slightly lower grade requirement. They will only expect you to have achieved grade 4s and above, but they will want you to be demonstrating a keen interest in the subject that you want to study. So BTEC level 3s are kind of slightly more accessible in terms of those grade requirements. And this is really important that you do some research, be honest with yourself about what you are currently tracking to. And if in doubt that you're not going to achieve the grades necessary, you have a plan B. So for some of you, it might be that you might be slightly concerned about not even achieving those 5 GCSEs at 4 and above, i.e. passing your grade, your GCSEs. And if that's the case, you would be looking at doing a BTEC level 2 course at college. So this will have the same values as GCSEs, but allows you now to progress forward with your education and career aspirations. So that's worth checking out. So checking out those grade criteria are really important. Just briefly to touch on applications. Applications, you can make as many applications as you want. You're not limited in the number. However, I would encourage you, each of those applications is going to be a single piece of work, and for your own the amount of time you spend on this, I would really suggest you really consider where you actually want to apply in terms of actually wanting to go. You can apply to as many as you want, and you can actually, once you have got a firm offer of a place that is subject to you getting the grade requirement, so this is called a conditional place. So it means you have a place as long as you meet the grade requirements that sixth form or college has requested. Once you've got an offer, you can actually then wait until results day before you make a final decision about where you would like to go. I would recommend all students, as I've mentioned, to have a plan B. What if you don't quite get the grades that you might expect? Now, we absolutely want you to be aiming high and be aspirational, but it may well, in some cases, just be really important to have that plan B in place. Now, this year, we, unlike previously years, have got quite a mixed landscape about application deadlines. So most deadlines will be happening for applications either in December or January. So it's really important that you check out individual school websites and college websites to see what their application process is. For example, Isha has already closed their applications for the next academic year. So their deadline has passed. However, there are plenty more to come. Colleges don't actually have a formal deadline in the same way as sixth form colleges. However, I would really encourage all of you who are considering colleges as your where you would like to progress to next, that you do your application before Christmas. And we would encourage you all to submit your applications before Christmas. This just really allows you to have a good break over Christmas and to now really importantly start focusing on those GCSEs and the work you need to do. As I mentioned, lots of different school open days are occurring this term, and college open days. Here at Waldegrave, applications will open on the 21st of October, and that is because they are open following the open evening, which is happening on the 20th of October, and applications will close on the 10th of January. Please check out all the open days you're interested in attending. Some are requiring registration. So again, I would urge you to do this sooner rather than later. Ms. Mayer has pulled together a fantastic resource which actually lists for you all the details about open day events, both at schools and colleges, as well as information about when applications open and close at various training providers. So she'll be posting that on Google Classroom, so please keep an eye open on that. Really invaluable information involved. And I just really want to end by just saying, this is clearly a very important term, not only for your applications, but as you progress towards those all important GCSE exams in the summer. But this really now is your first chance as young adults to take responsibility for your education and indeed for your progressions through to employment. Previously, GCSEs, when you're making those choices in year 9 as your options, there were certain guidelines that you had to work within. Now you have the opportunity to study whatever you want. So it is now your chance as a young adult to take that responsibility. And I know for some of you that will be very exciting and liberating to have that. And for others, that might feel slightly overwhelming and a bit scary. But we are here to help you, both the careers team, your tutors, your head of year, to support you through this process. So just finally to end, we will be meeting with you all for a one-to-one guidance meeting. And this is your chance to kind of talk through not only your ideas about your next steps, but really importantly, where those next steps might take you in terms of continuing in education, starting employment, and those longer term ideas about careers. So we look forward to seeing you for those meetings and addressing any questions or issues that you might have. That's it for now. Many thanks.